What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to another video by yours truly. I want to give a huge shout out to the DNA team for sponsoring this video and enabling me to bring it to your awareness first and foremost. But yeah, they've sponsored me and they want me to teach you guys some of the progression tips that I've been doing on my own account to get through Duet Night Abyss. In fact, I actually proposed this idea to the team because I was like, I think this will help out, people who might be playing the game and they're not using certain characters because they're not aware of their value. And so with that said, in this video, I'm going to be going over about several characters that I think you need to build as soon as possible if you haven't already. And trust me, the community will attest to what I'm telling you to do because I'm sure they're doing the same thing. These characters are absolutely invaluable. The day-to-day content that you're going to be doing, as you know, this is one of those games that has a lot of grind in it, which means if you're not being very efficient with your time, it could be very time consuming or maybe even frustrating. And so that's what we're going to be doing today, going over these characters to help you guys progress your account in a pretty efficient manner. Ultimately, I just strive to help you guys out. That's pretty much it. Anyways, before we get into it, if you like what you see and for whatever reason you haven't played DNA yet, I'll have a link down below in the description box and the pinned comment in the comment section for you to download Duet Night Abyss. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so the first character I want to talk to you guys about is going to be Lynn, and it's better to show you than to tell you. We're going to come over here to our commissions, and our Noctoria manual because we are grinding for this. This is going to be a monstrous demon wedge for her. I need 5 of them, and then I can craft it into the 5-star version or the gold version for some really juicy damage. But this is a level 65. I'm actually only level 60, so we're actually a bit under leveled, and our gear is not the best too on Lynn. None of that is going to matter. 69. None of that is going to matter because Lynn is just egregiously broken in pretty much any mode that requires you to clear ads. And so my thought process on Lynn is if you don't have her, if you haven't built her yet, I think you're just severely wasting a lot of time grinding this game day in and day out on the modes that require you to develop your account, your characters, level them up, level up their skills, farm demon wedges. This is a character that she is uncontested, guys. I'm telling you. So all I do is I do this. I wait for them to gather up, right? And then once they gather up, I jump high in the air. I pop my ult, and then I just start letting this bad boy rain. Look, did you even see? If you blinked, you might have missed it, but I just cleared like 100 ads. And as soon as I feel like I'm wasting my ult, I just get out of it, right? I press Q, I hop out of it, I wait for them to come back up again, I jump in the air, and then I do it all over again. This is quite literally Lynn in a nutshell in any of the modes that have ads, which, let's be honest, guys, 60% of this game's content is going around dungeon farming, clearing out waves and waves and waves of different ads. And so now this is the second wave here. I let them go down in the middle, right? They join down in there. As soon as it gets a little crowded, I jump, I pop ult. I use my Z2 because I'm using the fire Genimon for some extra damage. And yeah, everything in her field of vision, by the way. You do have to find that they have to be in her field of vision. But if they are, she just decimates them. So I see a little bit of them up top. We'll go ahead and go up top. We'll pop ult. We'll do it again. Right? And anytime I feel like if their health isn't going down, I just kind of assume that it's possible that they're not in my field of vision. I'll stop the ult. I'll go over there. I'll jump in the air, look down, and do it all over again. So this is an elite, right? She takes a little bit longer to get the elites down because she's not a shield breaker without. Oh, we got devouring wildfire. Yes, we got it. Let's go. Okay, let me go ahead and delete these guys real quick. This was actually a run where freaking ads were just hiding in corners and stuff. It's normally already over by this time. Oh, dude, I'm super pumped. That was what I needed for my Lynn, by the way. That freaking drop that just happened. And that's pretty much her. Like every single game mode, she will obliterate mobs in areas that most people usually have to run to get there. It's just, oh, I'm so happy I got this. I need 4 more of them though. But it's just ridiculous how broken she is for farming the day-to-day content that you're going to be doing. Like I said, leveling up characters, so on and so forth. It doesn't matter. It's not just the Noctoria manual, by the way. It's not just this. It's any of these commissions that are in this area too. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of them, like for her, for instance, if you need to level her up, then her particular commission, we go over here, it's going to say recommended character Hydra. In that instance, I would recommend you the second best character in the game to use, which is going to be Rebecca. So Rebecca is essentially not as broken as Lynn when it comes to like obliterating everything as fast as she does, but she's broken because all you have to do is set up jellyfish. And once you set those jellyfish up, it's GG's. Whoever steps in the radius, like you set one up here, set one up here, set one up here. Do you see this whole entire watery field here? Anybody that steps into this field gets splash damage. And I ain't talking about like splash damage at a water slide, brother. I'm talking about hydro blasts from Squirtle's final form, bro. Blastoise. It's a lot of damage. It really is. And so she's the other character. They call her the AFK character. That is, you could set up these jellyfish, provide it, give them max skill duration, and you can go literally go surf the browser, go play a different game. And any enemies that go inside of the field, which they always do because they just go to wherever she is, they will get decimated by those jellyfish. And so she's the second best option. A lot of people AFK farm with her. But Lynn, my God, bro. I'm telling you, will save you light years of time when it comes to doing day-to-day farm. Now, what's my build look like on her? Is she cracked? Do I have like all her introns? No, I don't. Not only do I not have all those, I am using this. It's skill damage plus 24%. She does gain advantage of this when she's in her ultimate. I remember I didn't know that when I first started the game. I was like, do the regular melee weapons give their benefit to like if I'm in my Constance weapon ult? Yeah, skill damage plus 24, it 100% applies. You can see it right there, 142%. So that's super valuable. But in terms of the demon wedges on her, I have 3 blues and a green. I'm not even, and not only that, max sanity and attack percent 30, attack 30, max sanity plus 40. We just got a massive W upgrade, right? But ideally, pyro attack, skill damage, W, attack percent, skill duration, that's good for ult. And then we've got attack percent 75. These 3 are solid as hell, but we just got this. And once we level it all the way up, which we'll do right now, that's skill damage plus another 30%. Skill damage is king in this game. It is very, very valuable. And so we slap that on her, and now we're going to get a massive upgrade there. And then you can double stack demon wedges as well. So this one right here, it says once upgraded to +5, this demon wedge can be equipped in multiples. What it means by that is if I level this up to +5 and I get another Blaze Eternity, I can start stacking them. You can see I got Blaze Eternity +5 already. So if I wanted to, I could take this out and put another Blaze Eternity in there. And now I'm double stacking skill duration and attack percent. And ideally, for a lot of characters, you will be doing that. You'll be double stacking things because those are the particular traits they're looking for. That said, that's going to be my plan with her. I'll be double stacking Blazing Eternity, and then I'll be putting that in there and replacing this right here. I don't need the sanity if I got a lot of duration, so I can take that out, put this in here. I'll have to adjust my slot track because I'm already overcapping on tolerance. But you get the idea. For her consonance weapon, you got 2 different options. You can go crit chance, crit damage, attack percent, and then you can go for spike attack on probably that last slot, or attack speed. Right? So attack percent, crit chance, crit damage, attack speed. That's kind of traditional. Or you can also do multi-shot, spike attack plus 60%, raw attack percent, and raw attack speed. This one doesn't rely on crit as much, but you're proccing the hell out of spike attack and you're proccing multi-shot, which is additional projectiles. And this one does like 1.5 times HP or something like that. So they're both 2 different ways of trying it. I did test them out. It was kind of like a similar damage result, honestly, in my personal opinion. So you can go crit or you can go that kind of build. It's up to you. But yeah, that is Lynn. I highly, highly recommend you literally grind for that character right now if you don't already have her. Nobody's competing with Lynn, man. I'm telling you, not in the clearing ads department. It's absurd. Now, for bosses, my boy Outsider. Outsider is an absolute monstrosity for bosses. The reason being is he just does an absurd amount of skill damage. His skill down here is these fang spikes. And when he gets attacked, they just fling out. Not only that, when he goes invisible and you come out of his invisibility by attacking, they fling out. And then when you pop his ult, they all come back to him, and whoever's around him gets hit by him as well. When you look at this multiplier down here, the multiplier is 3,000. It's 3,000% for a fang spike, guys. And so this is one of those characters you don't realize it until you just look at their health and it's just getting completely obliterated. But he's the kind of guy that you can use literally any weapon with him, in my experience, and he's gonna pop off because his real damage is coming from this this fang spike right here. Well, I'm going to show you in a bit, but what I'm using on him is actually this weapon too. So I use this on both him and my Lynn. This scythe is absolutely incredible because it gives skill damage plus 24%, and they benefit from it, and their primary damage is skill damage. Now for him, I actually am built quite well, not on the melee weapon. We still got some work to do, but his character build is pretty solid. I have attack percent and resolve. He's one of those characters that's a masochist. The lower his health, the more damage he does. That's the whole purpose of resolve. We've got stacked Blaze Volition, which is attack percent plus 48, skill damage plus 24%. We got 2 of those puppies on. We've also got skill damage plus 30% from the Whispering Zephyr. And then when an animal character uses combat skill, it gains an 84% skill damage increase for 6 seconds. So this guy's kind of loaded. I've also got an animal attack skill damage in skill duration. He doesn't give a damn about that. That one's okay. I'll probably end up swapping it out actually for another Volition, if I'm being honest. And then we've got more resolve and attack percent down here, more attack percent. So this guy, I actually was getting pretty good pieces for him. He's kind of like good to go. All I need to do is take this weapon up. I'm missing 2 whole slots here. It is what it is. Let me show you guys kind of like what his damage looks like, because I have tested him against everybody else in the game, and nobody else in the game from what I have tested can compete with this guy's damage. Now, let me just go ahead and tell you ahead of time. I'm still missing a lot of value on this dude. I'm still missing quite a bit. I'm only level 60, but as these bosses, as you unlock more levels of them, even at level 60, they start becoming a problem in the damage department, boys. They get thick. They get real thick. All right. So just so you know, man, don't expect me to just completely delete the boss. All right. You'll know what I'm talking about once you get to this point. But he has no introns. Let me just show you what he does. So you'll notice right there, every time I just go invisible, I pop skill, I go invisible, and then I auto attack, right? I pop skill, go invisible, auto attack. Look at her health, just getting obliterated. She's already in the middle. As soon as she does that, I pop ult to like kind of anime frame out of it. And then we're literally using the scythe, if you notice. Also, my Genimon is not a Animo Genimon, right? So this dude is just obliterating her, and all I'm doing is pressing skill, going invisible, and then coming back out of the invisibility, because every time you do that, he throws a fang spike at her, right? So we tap E, come out of it, he throws it down. Now I'm not gonna kill her because I don't want to right now. That's not who I'm choosing to farm. That's just how strong this freaking guy is, though. And I'll show it to you that way, because, you know, sometimes there's a lot of stuff on the screen. Go invisible, I hit auto attack. Those 2 fangs there be hitting for like, they do ridiculous. I know it doesn't look like it, right? They do ridiculous damage, bro. Those 2 little fangs there. And then once you get like 10 of them out, because they stay there forever, once you get 10 of them out, he pops his ult, they come back, right? And then his health goes all the way down and resolve kicks in. And now he's doing ridiculous amounts of damage because his health's very low. He starts popping off. I like using him with this too, because it pops off on top of everything he's doing. But that's the point. I literally go invisible, auto attack, invisible, auto attack, invisible, auto attack. And I swear, bro, he just be shredded. I wish I had a full build on him just so I can see how fast he could obliterate people. Now, with that said, that's my boss shredding guide. There's another person in the game that is fantastic. A mixture of boss shred and AoE, and it's Lisbell. She's somebody I'm going to recommend you build up to, in addition to Outsider, specifically for your, let me go ahead and go over to it, your immersive theater. Immersive theater, you need 2 teams, right? And so as we're climbing through this, you want to have a team on the left, a team on the right. Ideally, you want them to be able to not only clear a bit of ads, but also F up a boss. And so these 2 do that very well. And so I'm going to strongly recommend build up Lisbell too, because she also hits like an absolute truck. Furthermore, if you're a massive fan of the Excalibur, if you're a massive fan of that playstyle, you're gonna love this character. This character is absolutely insane with the Excalibur. You could also use the scythe on her too, believe it or not. You could, you don't have to, but it's just like efficiency, especially as we're progressing through the game. We don't have all the weapons in the world. It takes time to grind. The scythe's pretty universal, but you pop her ult. Good news is she stays in the ult the entire time. And so you can start doing this. The way her kit functions is when you do auto attacks and stuff and you're kicking mobs up, you start building combo meter. The bigger the combo meter, the more her AoE of her auto attacks becomes. Then she has the best move in her kit, which is this, right? It gives you combo meter the more you charge it up. And so boom, now we have an A charge. If you look down here, we're at an A combo charge. This is our duration of how long it lasts. Now look at my radius of attack. Big radius. You see what I mean? And so that's pretty much how she works. And that's why I said she could do a boss shred and she can do like a bit of ad clearing as well. Just in case you didn't know that. She's a really nice character. And so I recommend her and Outsider for when you're doing immersive theater. Her big focus is going to be luminous attack, which is her element, skill damage as well, and then skill duration. If you're curious why skill duration, the AoE, that what you just saw me do, the massive AoE attack she was doing, there's a duration on that, and it's attached to the combo level. Once you finish that combo level, it procs the duration of you having increased attack range and trigger probability, which breaks them their balance and shield and shit. This lasts 23 seconds only because of my skill duration. If I take all my skill duration stuff off, it only lasts 16 seconds, right? So it's important that you have that lasting very long, especially if you're at clearing and stuff. And that's why I recommend skill duration. That said, that character's fantastic as well. Now I want to talk to you guys about two characters that you absolutely need to have built for no matter who the hell you're using, because they're just universally savvy. First one I've told you in my very first video is Daphne. Right? Yes, I got her the Christmas outfit. She deserved it after that story. She has a universal crit buff, which I'm sure you're already aware of, right? And that can be applicable to all teams. You just throw her on in your tactical backpack and she's permanently there. You summon her, everybody gets the crit buff. But not only that, she also can heal your whole party. And then once you grind her out, because there's no freaking gacha and there's no stamina, you can grind as much as you want. If you unlock just her Intron 1, she then gives an additional 10% damage boost to the entire party. And so this character is insanely invaluable right now in the game. She's one of the rare people that can do it. There's only one other, and that is Truffle Filbert. So this little girl is absolutely amazing to put in your partner bag as well. I always run her and Daphne, and I'm focusing on getting her eventually to her Intron 2 because she gives a team-wide attack boost based on HP. And that's another buffer. But not only that, her freaking pig, she'd be chunking that pig as a partner, knocking people up in the air. She's fantastic. You don't see the value in her until you put her as a partner. She'd be in the background putting in work, guys. You have to take my word for it. But apart from that, she synergizes perfectly well with Outsider because her passive gives Outsider 5% resolve. Remember, resolve is a stat that gives you more damage the lower your HP is. And so it's a double dip value there. She's good as a partner, period. Once you get the Intron 2, she gets even better. And then when you use her with Outsider, he's going to get the benefit from her as a partner. And so those are the characters, for the most part, that I strongly recommend investing in. They've been helping my account and my progression in Duet Night Abyss a ton. That's not to say that whoever I didn't mention is invaluable, but the good news is all of these characters are completely free, except like Lynn, who is also completely free. But these other characters you get like immediately. Like they just come into your account, no questions asked, boom, they're there. Lynn, I had to grind for, which by the way, I got Lynn in 1 hour and 10 minutes from start to finish. And that's on stream, caught 4K. Got a character in 1 hour and 10 minutes. Can you imagine if this was still a gacha game, guys? I would have got that character never. I would have had to skip the banner unless I wanted to spend about $150. So in case you're wondering, I'm not saying that's the average, but on average, you can probably unlock every character in the game probably around a 2-hour mark if your luck isn't as good as mine. You know, I got that God tier luck. That is insane. Very impressive. Very impressed that I was able to get a character in like 1 hour and 10 minutes. That's going to wrap up all of my thoughts. I hope I brought you guys some value. If I did, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Peace, love, and happiness. Catch you guys on the flip side. Oh, once again, if you haven't downloaded DNA, click the link in the description box or the pinned comment in the comment section. Thanks again, DNA, for sponsoring this video. I'm out.